I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, I was young, I was naive, and quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated. Adam and I were seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, a period of months, this is how he came back into my life. He said, okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday, September 20th, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today has been a very busy day over on my Instagram. I don't know if you're following me, but it's at Without a Crystal Ball. I've been paying attention to this whole Adam Levine cheating on his wife thing with talking to people on Instagram whole mess, and I had no idea so many of you were obsessed with him, so who knew? I learned something new about my subscribers and followers on the daily. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of this video, and before we get into that, we'll also be talking about the Duggars and a little bit of a controversy that happened down in Florida related to the Duggars and a trip they took at a restaurant. So before we get into everything, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here, and if you like this kind of content, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed, and make sure to turn those notifications on. Set the notifications to all so you never miss a video and get all of the uploads. And as always, leave some comments if you have something to say. So a couple days ago, I got a message from one of my followers who was perusing, I think it was Reddit, and I want to just caveat something. I get a lot of criticism that I steal things from Reddit or I take things from Reddit, which, by the way, I never intentionally don't credit any place that I get information. If I don't know where something comes from, I can't credit the source unless someone passes something on to me and says, hey, I just saw this and they're telling me go look at this person's profile, and then I look at it and I see what they're talking about. And then it's also talked about on Reddit. I don't know if that's where it's coming from. I literally just get a message from someone that says, look at this. So I will credit them or any other source when I get the source information. Otherwise, I just am always on social media and I see stuff too. Now, this actually does come from Reddit. It is a photograph that one of my followers sent to me. So I don't go down into Reddit frequently. I just don't have the time, but sometimes I get screen caps sent to me, and this one was a photograph of Jim Bob at a airport in Florida, and he was with a bunch of the family, and I think the caption said something like they saw Jim Bob and the family at the airport in Florida. So people naturally assume that maybe they were going down to Florida to visit Anna's family. They were in the part of Florida where Anna's parents would have been. They live in Interlaken, Florida. I am not totally clear where that is. I just don't. So they're down in Florida, and because they saw them there, I got a message from someone and said, well, maybe they're going down to visit Anna. And I said, well, maybe they are. Well, then yesterday, I get another message from the exact same follower who happened to see some screenshots over on Pickles and Hairspray on Facebook, and those were of the Duggars at a restaurant. And then I Googled the restaurant and noticed there was some articles of the Duggars at this restaurant. But that's not really the story. The story is that the restaurant did this huge shout out to the Duggars, and they ended up getting so much backlash because of it, and people were so annoyed that they removed the post and even put up a second comment. Imagine being this kind of tone deaf in the world where you put up a post praising the family like the family of the Duggars and Jim Bob and Michelle, mind you, and this is what the restaurant said in their post that they've taken down. And again, this was posted by Pickles, but it was from Wharf 850, and it says, well, where are they now? Well, we know where the Duggar family were this Sunday. The Duggar family, stars of their own popular reality show for 7 years titled 19 Kids and Counting, chose the Wharf 850 for brunch today. After their meal, the family was kind and gracious enough to take photos with a few fans we also call our staff. Some of our staff and family growing up with the Duggar family. Thank you, Jim, Bob, Michelle, and the rest of the Duggar family for choosing the Wharf 850 for your family brunch in Niceville, Florida. Duggar family official, Niceville, Florida. And it was a photograph of 19 kids and counting. And in fairness, their show was on for way more than 7 seasons. They were on the air from 2007 or 8 until 2021. So 14 years that they were on TV, maybe 15. Either way, they were just sort of ignoring all of the elephants in the room, and they were just like doing a shout out to the Duggars. I don't think anyone actually is asking where the Duggars are now. So then I saw this when I Googled Niceville and the Duggars, and I noticed that their local media had the Duggar family has brunch at the Wharf 850 in Niceville. And it's a photograph, and you'll see that Jim, Bob, and Michelle are there. And then they've got their older kids. So Jeremiah and Hannah are there with them, along with Jackson, Tyler, Johanna, Jennifer, Jordan, Josie. And they're with a couple pastors, and apparently they were attending a church like First Baptist something in Niceville. So an article's put out that the Duggars visit this restaurant, which is like, I guess that if Niceville, Florida, it's news there. But apparently they started getting so many comments, like negative comments about the posting the Duggars. They posted a comment underneath their post, and then they removed the whole post because they were getting so much negative comments. It says the Duggar family were guests of a local church and were brought to the wharf for brunch. The experience was fun for our staff and guests alike. We shared the photos and visit with that spirit in mind. Predictably, people chose to not take it for what it is. We have no opinion or position on the controversy surrounding the Duggar family. It was a pleasant visit to our restaurant, enjoyed by all, so we shared it accordingly. Negative posts distorting our intention will be removed. We have no opinion around the controversy surrounding the family. That's unfortunate. I'm sure they're trying to just be like super, like, we're just a business. But honestly, if you're going to promote the Duggars after Josh Duggar was literally like incarcerated for what he was, and like act like they've been offline for such a long time that we haven't seen them, knowing full well the reason why they lost the show was because of what happened with Josh and the involvement of what he did, which was CSAM, which is the worst of the worst. And he's done egregious things to children, and the whole culture that they exist in is horrible. And they were visiting a local church, but I did check that church's page on Instagram and on Facebook, and the Duggars weren't actually like there speaking. And then I also noticed that a local made a post on Facebook that said, oh, I guess if you're not a local, or maybe just being followed by social media, you can get a group gathering at the wharf. I know many have been successful, but not me. I tried twice, 2 separate parties via website, phone, and in person to plan an event for 25 plus, and it gave me a second try for 40 plus, totally ignored. Glad they were able to get in. So locals were kind of annoyed that they seemed to get the special treatment because of who they were. And they did attend a church like in Niceville. It's a Baptist church. Again, they did not speak at the church, at least in the videos that I saw. They might have just been attending the church. But the follower that I did speak to said that the Niceville is like several hours like directly in one direction from where Anna's parents live. So it's very probable that they could have been visiting Anna's parents and then went to this church and like spent the day there with this church family. I don't know. They said that it's not a touristy town, and it's certainly not a place that you would go if you're, going to go to the beach, but it is near the beach. So I don't know. I guess that's where they're at. But they took down the post because of all the negative backlash that they got. So today, in today's age, businesses do not have to take a position on people, but if people are going to give them backlash and say, like, I'm not going to go there, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to that, like, how dare you promote them, people have a right to make a decision whether or not they're going to eat someplace that supports the family. I would just caveat, like, unless you're living in the area and you're not affected by this company and not affected by this business, don't go spam them and like say you're horrible for promoting the Duggars, this or that. But in today's day and age, I will say don't, if you're the business, expect to post a photograph of the Duggars and not expect backlash, because what Josh did aggravates and angers people, and rightfully so. So the Duggars are still not particularly popular, but people down in Florida are inviting them to see and spend time with them at church. I guess if you're a Baptist, you're still in their club, or some Baptists still have you in their club. And not far from where Anna's parents live. I mean, relatively, I think 3 or 4 hours, they said. So the Duggars were down in Florida. I didn't see Jana in the photograph. Maybe Jana stayed at home. Nor did Jason and James, nor were Jason and James seen in the photographs either. So the Duggars are still not popular, and a business had to take down their post. Next, Adam Levine. So check this out. Adam Levine is the singer of Maroon 5 and has been in the media and in the music industry since 2002. He also hosted the show, the talent show, The Voice, for several seasons. And he left several years ago, and he was like not on good terms with some of the other hosts. And Adam has had sort of a love-hate relationship with a lot of other celebrities, and he's the kind of celebrity singer that some either really, really love him, or others just think like, I don't like his music, or I think he's kind of arrogant. You know, I've just never been a huge fan. But I always thought he was a cheater, and I don't know why. I don't know. I have nothing tangible to say, like, I thought he cheated on women. Maybe it's because I'm the same age as him, and I remember him before he got married, and he always had all these different girlfriends. And I feel like back before he got married, he was, like, constantly cheating on people. I think. I don't remember. But I just had this stuck in my mind that Adam Levine was a womanizer. I don't know why. So when I saw this come out, I was like, well, this is not shocking, but apparently some of you were shocked. So here's what went down. Adam is 43 years old, and listen, I don't care how old someone is because I'm the same age as him. I'm just pointing this out because Adam has 20 years of experience in the industry. He also is famous, wealthy, and has a lot of power. And he is finding girls apparently on Instagram that are in their 20s, and he is flirting with them. And one young woman who was apparently 21 years old at the time says that she and Adam got involved in a relationship, which led to a physical relationship, which she told Page 6, and she posted a TikTok, and on the TikTok, she said that they had been engaged in an affair. So this is what she had to say.
I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, you know, I was young, I was naive, and I mean, quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated. Maroon 5 is practically elevator music at this point, so I'm sure you know who Adam Levine is. Adam and I were seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, you know, a period of months, this is how he came back into my life. He said, okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious. I was like, I'm in hell. Like, I have to be in hell. I only came forward because I wanted to kill whatever story the tabloid had. The most important part that I did definitely gloss over is the fact that I was under the impression that their marriage was over. I believe that they were keeping it quiet to avoid the negative press because, as I had said, I was new to LA. So I just assumed that with celebrities of that caliber, that that's just how it was. And that's why I feel exploited, because he knew I believed everything that he said because of my vulnerable position of being new to LA. I'm not the one who's really getting hurt here. It's Beati and her children, and for that, I'm so, so sorry.
So basically, she says they've had all of these different communications, and they don't talk for several months, but then he suddenly like reaches out to her in June and says, we're having another baby, and do you mind if I name my child, if I have a son, Sumner, which is her name. Beati actually announced her pregnancy last week, and everyone keeps saying that Adam and Beati announced their pregnancy, but they didn't. Beati actually announced it by sharing a picture of a bump. So anyways, her video gets widely seen. It's got 14, 15, 16 million views. I don't even know. And she's an Instagram model. And she also posts some stuff on her Instagram and her TikTok. So the TikTok goes viral, and then she does another video basically explaining further that the reason why she came out is because someone got a hold of screenshots that she had sent to them. They had contacted the tabloids, and she wanted to try to kill the story. She felt like Adam lied to her and misled her, made her believe that he wasn't getting, like, that he was in the process of getting a divorce or that they were separated, and they just didn't want the negative press, so they weren't talking about it. She claimed to be naive and didn't really understand and just assumed that he was telling her the truth. She says that they were involved with each other for about a year. So other women have also come out since then and claimed that Adam has sent them inappropriate messages, flirty messages on Instagram. Okay. So she told Page Six, Sumner told Page Six that they had a physical relationship and that they had an affair. Adam then released this statement on his Instagram, which said, "A lot is being said about me right now, and I want to clear the air. I used poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner. I did not have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period in my life," which was actually pretty recently. So I don't know. He acts like it's like yesterday, but it was like 2 years ago, but it was actually pretty recent. "In certain instances, it became inappropriate. I have addressed that and then taken proactive steps to remedy this within my family. My wife and my family is all I care about in this world. To be this naive and stupid enough to risk the only thing that truly matters to me was the greatest mistake I could ever make. I will never make it again. I take full responsibility. We will get through it, and we will get through it together." And then Sumner responded and said, "Someone get this man a dictionary." So his statement was kind of like, well, I was flirty and inappropriate and I crossed lines, but I didn't have an affair. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like standard. Like, I'm going to deny it, but I'm not going to deny it. Like, it happened, but it didn't happen. She's adamant that they were together. The screenshots that she showed that they had an affair. And then there's like these two other women. I don't think the other two women have alleged that they actually met him. More so that the content of the comments that they were making back and forth were flirty and inappropriate and kind of dirty. So he was using his DMs, sliding into his DMs. And listen, like, a lot of people are blaming the girl for coming out and saying, like, she's like doing this for 15 minutes of fame. She said that she knows the stereotypes that come with this, and she apologized to Bahati. I don't know what her intentions are. I also know that he's not denying that they didn't have communication, and the communications that she shared stated that they had met in person, because it says, "It's truly unreal how effing hot you are, like it blows my mind." That's what Adam said to her, and she said, I think the same. "Seeing you in person was like, I'm effed." And he said, "You are 50 times hotter in person, and so am I. Ha 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 ha." And he's like, "Yeah, no, I didn't think the attraction could be intensified anymore." And then he said, "This plane is so effing sick. Holy S, sorry to change the subject." And then he messaged her and said, "Can I name my kid Sumner?" Under the guise of that text message exchange or that DM exchange, they met in person. I don't know if they had an affair or they just hooked up. Potato, potato. Maybe that's why she wants him to get a dictionary. But then other women are now coming forward and saying that he's done similar things with them. And then I noticed over on In Touch that they're saying that Bahati, his wife, had no idea and was blindsided by everything. So apparently they said that she was blindsided, that she had no idea that it was coming, and is very distraught. And she wants to believe her husband's denial, but she said that she's furious, and she feels that where there's no smoke without fire. And they've had their fair share of problems in the past and are trying to navigate moving forward. And he called it poor judgment. So I don't know, like, is it poor judgment when you're a married father of two to slide into the DMs of all these women? And I'm just going to say this. I don't buy that he's naive or stupid, because he's not. He's been in the industry for 20 years. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's contacting women and being flirty. I mean, he knows literally exactly what he's doing. He's not naive. He's maybe arrogant. I don't think he's stupid. I think maybe he assumed that because he was so powerful, maybe they wouldn't say anything. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, another men cheating in the industry and cheating in general in this industry never surprises me. So I'll keep you updated on the situation with Adam Levine. I just feel super bad for Bahati. A lot of people are saying like it's her fault, it's his fault. And I'm like, dude, it takes two people to get involved in a relationship. And if someone's married and you get involved with them, it's your fault for getting involved with someone that's married. But at the same time, it's a young girl who might have been lured in and like attracted and believed the lies. I don't know. Like I try to keep things as like, I don't want to blame anyone other than Adam at this point for being the one that was married, that broke vows to his wife. And I feel bad for the wife and the kids. Those are the ones that are really the ones that are hurt in all of this. So I'm sure it's very hard for her because she's literally pregnant with her third child. I mean, who wants to find out your husband is a cad when you're pregnant? It's a hard part. It's a hard pill to swallow, and it's a hard realization to make. And I just, his statement doesn't match what In Touch's sources are saying. He's saying that he's already taken care of it, and she's saying she was blindsided. I'm going to probably go with she didn't have a clue, but that's just me. So what are your thoughts about the backlash of the Duggars, and what are your thoughts about the scandal with Adam Levine? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.